dreamers, it's Jacqueline. Welcome back. I'm gonna do a quick little eye tutorial for you today. My favorite go-to thing is a bronzy eye, and so I figured we'd do that today. It's a pretty flattering look no matter what your eye color, so I hope you enjoy this. I'm sure there are plenty of other videos out there like this, but I just thought we would do one here. We're gonna try out a couple of new products after that, so depending on if that video is up before this one, I will link it for you down below. If not, make sure you're subscribed. I've already primed my eyes with Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I'm gonna go in and set it with a little Wet n Wild Creme Brulee and my Wet n Wild Fluffy Crease brush. And I'm just gonna set the crease in above because I really want the bronzy color we're gonna put on our lid to stick down to that primer. It'll make it that much more intense if there's not something between it and the primer. Now I'm grabbing my Royal and Langnickel crease brush. I think we're gonna use this little Milani Earthy Elements palette. I like these little Milani palettes. They have 6 colors. Generally, if there's gonna be kind of a bad one, it's gonna be one of these two here. Generally, this darker color down here can be a little patchy. Some of the palettes are better than others, but you still get 5 functional shades, worst case scenario with these. I'm gonna take this first kind of orangey shade here and blend that as our transition. What you wanna do when you're doing this is just work in light layers. You don't wanna take a ton of product and pile it on there and then try to blend it out. Think of it like nail polish. You don't go in with one thick coat to get that nice opacity that you're looking for. You do a couple of thin coats so that it dries evenly and that sort of thing. Same with makeup. If you pile on a ton of product and then go to blend it out, it's gonna look patchy and weird. Whereas if you take your time and build it up, it'll be nice and evenly distributed. I go back and forth between windshield wiper and little circle motions depending on where I'm trying to get it to blend out. Because I have hooded eyes is why I do this above my actual crease. About like that is what I'm looking for. You can see it's really nice and opaque and blend it out. And I'll go in with a little bit of a Makeup Geek shadow just to blend out those edges. Ideally this shade just slightly lighter for my skin tone to be used as a transition, so we'll go up and blend out that upper edge with a little bit of a lighter shade. I do top these off. They are pigmented, but they're a little bit dusty, so if you are doing your makeup, if you're doing your eyes second, definitely top it off. If you're doing it first, it's not as necessary. I'm gonna reach for Peach Smoothie or Beaches and Cream. I think I'm gonna mix to blend out our transition. This will just help fade that line a little bit, blend it in with my skin tone there at the top. See how much more gradient that is? Now with my Sigma E25, I'm gonna pick up the next darker orange in this palette. Just add it a little more concentrated into the crease, a little bit lower down than those shades we've done thus far. I do kind of raise my brows for this part because when I'm adding a little bit of a darker color down beneath the other colors, it just helps me to get where I want to. It's not something I would recommend as far as eyeshadow application unless you know exactly what you're doing, because obviously changing the position you're in when you're applying your eyeshadow means that when you relax, it moves. So just keep that in mind. You want to have your eye relaxed and open when you're working on what's visible with your eyes open. That may seem obvious to you, but if so, I'm sorry. This shade is so pigmented and gorgeous. I mean, look at that. This palette is $10 at the drugstore. It's not expensive at all. And I'm not someone who just buys drugstore shadows. I mean, Milani ones are good. There are a couple of Wet n Wild ones that I really like. But I'm generally, if I'm going to splurge on something, you guys know, my favorite shadows are the Makeup Geek singles, which are not the most economic ones out there, but they are talc-free, they're cruelty-free. They're really highly pigmented. I still have not finished a single pan, which we all know that takes a long time. If you've been using makeup for very long at all, you know what a rarity that is. But For the most part, I don't recommend drugstore shadows because I think they're a waste of money. If you've purchased very many of them, you will know that to be true. But I will only show you guys stuff that I actually think works. I mean, I don't just go out and buy stuff just to buy stuff. I'm very strict on what I keep and what remains in my collection, and I have high expectations. I don't care what the price point is. I want it to perform. It doesn't matter. These palettes are even better than the single shadows. I'm gonna reach back to our original brush that we used to set just to blend a little bit of these colors together. And I'm not concerned about how far down I kind of got the orange on this side when I was doing that technique I was telling you about, raising my brows and stuff, because we're gonna go in and cover that up with some shimmery bronzy shades, so that will not matter here in a minute. Now that I look at it, this side needs a little more orange. The bronzy shade in here is beautiful, but it's a little more nighttime feel than I'm going for. So we're gonna switch palettes now. I'm gonna use a Wet n Wild concealer brush. I've got that color how I want it. I'm gonna go back in with our crease brush and blend out the edges. I'm gonna use the Royal Langnickel brush for that. I'm actually gonna reach for my MAC palette just because I know what I want. Wipe off my brush on my color switch. That's all I ever really have in front of me, unless it's a paper towel. It's just this guy. It's like a hair donut in a tin. Now I'm gonna use Amber Lights by MAC, which is this guy right here. And I'm gonna put that on the center of my lid. Now I wanna add a little depth in the crease, so I'm probably gonna stick with this MAC palette for that. I'm going to take Swiss Chocolate, this guy here, on my little shading brush by Real Techniques. I'm gonna go back and forth between this shading brush and this, they called this one the base shadow brush. I realized that after I filmed my haul for you guys last time that the fluffy blending brush is called the all over shadow brush, or the base shadow brush, and then the super thick, like dense one like this that I would use for cream shadows, they call this the crease brush. So I don't know what they're smoking over Real Techniques, but it's not how I would name them. Oh, something in my teeth. Joy. I need something a little darker. I'm gonna blend that out and balance it out first. Same thing over here. Go to my Makeup Geek palette for a little more pigmented color. Not that these MAC shadows aren't pigmented, but they're not. I mean, when you compare them with the Makeup Geek, it's just laughable. No offense, MAC. I still love you. This is Americano by Makeup Geek. Sorry, I was blocking it. And I'm just gonna dot that here on this outer corner. See how crazy pigmented that is? Can you see like the dawn's early was so proudly waving at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare doubled still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Sometimes I know I hate myself before I even get to editing because I'm just distracted and doing my makeup and just break into song, and you know, I don't necessarily want to put that on the internet, but you know, apparently it wants to be on the internet because my body is just producing music. Now that I've got that all blended out on the outer corners, a little bit of Americano by Makeup Geek, I'm much happier with how this bronzy eye is looking. Let's see, do I want to add anything else? I think, honestly, I'm feeling woodwinked. I think I need it. I think I need it today. This gold just isn't doing it for me, so I'm gonna go in with my favorite, this woodwinked shadow here. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, yep, that's what I needed. That was it. Mmm. Love, 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 love. I mean, tell me that's just not the most beautiful bronze you've ever seen in your life. Tell me. Back to blending. Get those edges. Deep brown Physicians Formula eyeliner for us today. Switching it up. Woo woo. And I don't think I'm gonna do wings today. I think our eyes speak for themselves. I'm just gonna go in and thicken up my lash line a bit. Come back and check in once the rest of my face is done. We'll do a little mascara and I'll come back and see you in a bit. Now that I'm all crazy dolled up for you, this is the finished eye look. I just added a little, well, I didn't add anything really. Some mascara, put my brows on. This mascara is the Voluminous Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. If the video doing the 5 first impressions, including this, is up before this video, I will link that for you down below. If not, make sure you're subscribed and notified of all future uploads by clicking that notification bell next to the subscribe button. Because YouTube is weird now, and even though you're subscribed, you may never hear from me again if you don't click on that bell. Let me know what you thought of this look down below. Did you try it out? How'd it work for you? Send me pictures if you try it out. I would love to see your looks. And in case you're wondering, on my lips, another part of the 5 first impressions is this Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Liquid Lipstick in Flame of the Game. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for my eyes today. These are the only eyes I've got, so that's it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you next time.